Welcome to my car. I just came here to wipe off my car because it's snowing like crazy and move it into the garage. But then I felt like I was in this nice little sanctuary and was just inspired to come hang out here for a while. So enjoy this nice car sanctuary video where I talk about one of my biggest passions, personality typology. I really like astrology, and lately I've been very into Briggs. I'm an INFJ, and when I shared that with you, when I had just barely discovered it, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And a lot of people said that they were either an INFJ or an INFP. And I've done a lot of research on this, and today I'm going to get into the dominant and inferior functions of the two, like what our strengths are and our biggest weaknesses via cognitive functions. So Myers-Briggs, the 16 personalities, tells you how you perceive and judge the world. How you perceive the world can either be through your intuition, finding patterns and organizing your own information, or through sensing, through taking in new information all the time and being present and observant. Of course, we all do both. Your cognitive functions, what your type is, tells you how you prefer to do this. And same goes with how you judge the world, which is either thinking or feeling. How do you prefer to make decisions? Do you think through it, or do your feelings kind of lead the way? We all, again, do both of these, but it's which one takes priority. The J or the P at the end, INFJ, INFP, doesn't mean that you either are a judger or a passive perceiver in life. That's a big misconception, that that last letter is another, like, one of these dichotomies, like thinking or feeling or intuition or observing. The last letter is kind of like a code. So for INFJs, the J means that first inner letter, N, is your first introverted function. For INFPs, the P tells you that your first dominant function is introverted feeling. So IN and I is INFJ's dominant function, and FI, introverted feeling, is INFP's. One big similarity between both, because we are introverted and we are dominantly intuitive and feeling, we are very, very, very hypersensitive to the world around us, to the energies around us. For instance, me, whenever I'm like home alone, I get into this groove, and then one other person comes home and it's like the energy, you know, I need to reset it, like fit that energy into what my experience is, and, like, you know, reacclimate. And then another person comes in and I have to reacclimate again. And if we grew up in a chaotic home, like many of us did, dealing with the fluctuations of energy is really exhausting for us. And when we're very unhealthy, INFPs and INFJs, we're going to be very, even more so sensitive to it. And I think it's really important to make note of that and, like, practice having a solid state, recognizing how you want to show up in the world. What's your best self? Are you a goofy, high vibe sort of gal or guy? And how can you expand your energetic field to express that, rather than, like, taking in all of this energy all the time? You know, making a solid boundary around yourself, a nice energetic wall and bubble, is an important thing to practice and build up. Now, let's talk about these dominant and inferior functions. That's what I'm going to focus on today, because there are other functions, but I'll just touch on one for the INFJ. So let's start with INFJs. How about? Our dominant function is introverted intuition. So we notice these patterns, we notice them subconsciously, and it can really help us navigate our world. We've recognized little tiny patterns. If someone says something, we can understand what their motive behind it was really easily. INFPs out there may be like, I can do that. But you guys, there's things that get in the way from you doing that well. INFJ's inferior function is SE, extroverted sensing. And so while we see the big picture and how all these little details kind of fit into these patterns and these archetypes, we don't pay attention to like the very material world, meticulous day-to-day mundane things that we need to do to keep us healthy and on top of things. So taking care of ourselves often comes last, doing those little things that make us feel good all the time and keeping up with them. That's like the hardest thing for me. It's like I'll do them, but then like my introverted intuition just takes over and I get lost in this like world in my head and like trying to bring that into light, that like the details of life kind of like start to rumble under my feet until all of a sudden there's an earthquake and I'm like, oh my god, look at all this mess that I've just been neglecting. INFPs. Your dominant function is introverted feeling. That means that you're very aware of how you feel, discerning what that feeling is and where it came from. This is your superpower. However, you know, same with unhealthy INFJs, our superpower becomes our weakness because, you know, I get lost in my head, in my introverted intuition too much. And INFPs over here get lost in their feelings too much. They feel them so deeply. I want you to know that I think you're the only person in the whole 16 personalities, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, that has this as your dominant function, introverted feeling. Your feelings are stronger than everyone else's. That's not to put down everyone else's feelings, but I'm just trying to validate you in that your emotional experience is really, really, really intense. And you gotta understand, not everyone else feels things that way and goes through life like being led by their emotional state. And so understand that not everyone else can completely understand. But your knowing your feelings is amazing. I'm over here so confused about what the heck I feel all the time. And that makes things like kind of hard for me. But you guys know your feelings. And I think that's often why INFPs become the scapegoats. Because you guys know how you feel and why and like what's going on and you're aware of it and you're angry about it and you speak up and it gets you into trouble. But you can't put that down because that's how you live, your feelings. And someone's making you feel bad and you're like, bruh, come on. But it's kind of cool. I have so many INFP friends, a lot of INFJ friends too actually. Kind of funny how we all attract each other in this life. And all of you INFPs are just like so authentic because you understand yourselves and your feelings and you're not afraid to express them. INFP inferior function is extroverted thinking. So where you guys have a hard time is with what is everyone else thinking. And you being so authentic to yourself and like experimental and creative, you want to understand how you can like live up to what other people think is normal. You always feel like everyone's kind of against you and like you gotta change yourself to fit in. And I know a lot of people who are INFPs who are like, who ask me like, is this how you're feeling? And I'm like, no, that's not what I think at all. You know, I'm not angry at you. I'm not judging you, but INFPs are often so concerned, thinking that other people are judging them. My message to y'all is to pay closer attention in this moment to what a person is actually saying to you and taking that for truth. Not in every scenario, of course. Many of us have people in our lives who we can't trust. And you know that. Trust that you know who you can and cannot trust. But people who have proved themselves to you as trustworthy, or that you just feel are trustworthy people, trust them. Trust that what they say is their word, is what they mean. And trust that they are accepting of you. Because most people are. Most people are rooting for you. And if you don't know what they're thinking and feeling, ask. And let them reassure you, or get off their chest what they are thinking and feeling, and take that unassuming, you know, way with that conversation as well. Be like, okay, this is how they're actually feeling. You know, I asked, now I have some clarity. So my message to you, INFJs, is to take that introverted intuition and just kind of slow it down a little bit. Pump the brakes in your head. You have ideas coming at you like so many, every minute and you don't articulate them. They're just kind of like abstract, weird matter. And you don't have to focus on that all the time. It's natural, and you can like, you know, still like put it down and trust that it will kick in a gear when you need it in a situation to figure out something. I hope that makes sense. And in the meantime, while you're like living less in your head, make it a daily ritual and routine to check on like all the little things that you need to do, like your finances, your chores, your health, you know, exercise, eat well. Like make that a part of your daily routine so that it doesn't get away from you. INFPs do kind of the same thing. Balance these functions out. Take your feelings and like calm them down. Pump the brakes. Trust that in situations where it really matters to know what you're feeling, you're going to know what you're feeling and you're going to know why. And on the flip side, be very unassuming in your conversations with other people and in your analyzing of other people. Know that you don't know what they think, okay? And ask them what they think. And trust that they're not judging you. All introvert and extrovert NFs, intuition and feelers, intuitive feelers. We fall under the mediator category for 16 personalities. And so we seek harmony. We see the big picture and the possibilities of a peaceful, harmonious... I ran out of space. Been talking for a long time. And my hand's getting cold. I'm going to put this one under my leg and talk with this one now. I really don't talk with my hands much in real life. I don't know what happens when I step in front of the camera. And we feel everyone else's feelings. And we want everyone else to feel okay. I think that it's important for us to understand that that's great. And that we can first practice putting ourselves first. And then secondly, use that as our like big superpower, our big shared superpower. We are the peacemakers and the possibility seers. We can make really positive changes in the world around us. I've been thinking a lot lately, I already told this to someone in the comments, about how one tiny drop in water makes this ripple effect. And then it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as it spreads. I think that if all of us mediators come together and we start sharing this like dose of big picture, healing, feeling into the world through little things that we say and do, we can all make a really big impact. We probably do, you probably do. But first we gotta put ourselves first. That has to become our main priority. And hopefully balancing these functions of ours, how we perceive and interact with the world, will help you better help yourself, better know how to help yourself. But it's also really important for us to recognize that not everyone feels this way and understands. A lot of people are very focused on the details and on this moment in their sphere on this planet. You know, they're not concerned about the big picture, the entire universe. And that's okay. These are all observations that I've made through observing myself and other INFJs that I know and INFPs that I know, which in both categories are abundant, and by doing a lot of research. So if you think it's interesting, do a lot of research and a lot of field data taking. Ask people, are you intuitive or observant? Are you feeling or are you thinking to make decisions? Are you introverted or are you extroverted? And then like kind of feel out who they are, learn about the functions, and yeah, it's cool, it's fun. I recommend it. If not, look forward to another video where I talk more about this. Subscribe so that you know and you can see when that is. Let me know what your personality type is down below and what you think of this video. And smash the like button if you enjoyed it. I'll be back very soon. Maybe not in this little sanctuary, but dang, this was really fun. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, never mind. Don't look. Don't look. Do you guys want to see what it's like outside? Okay, so the thing is, I can't open my door. Look, it's broken. It's broken. So I either have to roll down the window and open it from the outside, or I have to climb through the side to get out of my car. Yep, that's my life. Cheers to being an INFJ and the world around us, the little details being kind of out of whack and that being fine. Another massive thing that we want to work on is acceptance. Accept that you are the way you are and that that's totally cool. You're a cool dude, okay? Embrace it. Embrace who you are and how you live. Let's get outside. Oh my gosh. I'm worried if I roll down the window today that all the snow is gonna get in my car, so I'm not gonna do that. Are you ready? Let's see this outside world. Whoa. November 11th. 11/11, make a wish. All right. I'm out of here, guys. About to wash my car off and then move it into the garage, get to work, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Peace.